Hello everyone, Natalie K. Lillico from Align With Your Design Coaching, and this is the third video on the Genius Report. So let's just get started. In this video, we're going to take a look at the 10-page, the long report. What is it that's included? And so you can just follow along if you have it, or if you're just curious and want to know what's inside of the report. So here we go. And why we do this, why do we need the Genius Report? Because the world needs you exactly the way you are, your uniqueness. And the Genius Report is another way of bringing out the best in you at your work. We looked at the compact report and what was included in that in the second video. That's what the one-page report looks like. And just as a reminder that I am certified as a Genius Report coach and trainer, as a career coach and a human design analyst, as well as many other certifications, but we won't go into that today. If you want to get your free report or the 10-page report, go to geniusreport.net, and you'll see this little symbol here. That is where you can order the report. It's pretty straightforward. Or you can also contact me if you want to do your report and coaching. Just email me and I'll let you know what your options are. And that's Natalie at alignwithyourdesign.com. So when you get your report, whether you get it from me and I'll send you the email, or you get it directly from geniusreport.net, you will get an email with links. One link is for the compact and the other link is for the 10-page report. You can download it, but you really want to hang on to the link because there will probably be updates to the report, and when you have your original link, then you get any of the updates that are done to the report. We looked at the force field both in the first and second video, so I won't go into detail, but I just wanted to put this image up for you and then take us here to see that when you do the training, the Genius Report training, we go much more into depth into what to each of these points mean and how they are, you know, an individual's force field is connected. If you look at here, anything that's written in the orange color, that's when someone has the that particular part of the force field. If it's the dot is outside the circle, or if it's blue and it's closer inside the circle. So you can just take a look at that, but that's part of the training that you get if you want to go more into depth with the Genius Report. So I'll give you a chance to just look at that with your Genius Report. If you're building a team or developing a team, or you're working with a group, even in a community situation, a nonprofit situation, just imagine the impact this would have to have this kind of information where everyone could see, oh, you know, even though you're really good at that particular skill or task, really where you accelerate is here. And to be able to do that for each person, and you're going to see what else you're going to find out about each person when you have their Genius Report as I go through the rest of this. There are 74 different specific skills and talents. So you may have 4, you may have 5, you may have 6 of those. But that's how it's presented in the long report. It's a little bit more of a description than what you saw when we looked at it in the compact. That's the second part of the report. So you'll see here, these are two different people's reports, that some have more than others. Go back to the second video and I explain what that means, because there's nothing wrong or broken here. We're all unique and different for a reason. And many times we don't know what that reason is. Okay, I really like this part of the report. This is about how you work in teams. How are you fulfilled? And then what's your preferred team roles? Some people are more engaged with teams. Some people, you know, are more on the outside of teams. We are here with, you know, how many? 7 billion people. So we do interact with others. So it's just good to know what is the way that most works best for you. I'm not going to go into my power base. It is really important, especially if you are engaged with teams of 16 or more. But I did want to talk about the first one, how I can fulfill myself. So are you someone that it's really important for you that you personally feel really fulfilled, that you feel like your creative expression is coming out, and that, you know, that's the most important thing? Or are you someone that, no, it's about my community, it's about my brothers and sisters, it's about, you know, my tribe? Or are you someone that you are looking at the big picture? How does this affect our town, our state, you know, a little broader perspective? So just to give you an example that you can be in any kind of role and have yourself fulfilled. A client of mine worked for one of the biggest consulting firms in the world, but her job, she was able to craft her job, is that she did a lot of creative work, both you know, podcasts and writing. And so when we looked at hers, it was like she scored, I don't know, like 67 or so in the individual. So it was like, even though the work that she did affect the community, did affect society, but because she was being able to express herself creatively in a way that really worked for her, she was able to work in this huge corporation. So it doesn't mean that you know, if it's individual, it's like, oh, I can't be around anybody, I have to do my own thing. No, we're looking at how within a tribe or within a community, within a team, how are you most fulfilled? And to make sure that that is getting satisfied. We looked at the page 4 is part of the compact report. We looked at my talent profile, so you can go back and look at that in the second video. The same with my cooperation profile. What we didn't look at, and what I'm not going to go into now, is my prosperity profile. But I will tell you from personal experience and my clients, that when the talent is being expressed, when that part is your main contribution, that the prosperity kind of takes care of itself. You got to get this part lined up first before the prosperity. And prosperity, does it mean money in the bank? Yes, but it means more than that. It really means abundance in many ways. Are you getting the right contacts? Are people coming to you, or the people that you reach out to, are they mutually beneficial? So that is prosperity as well. And that we go into detail in that in the training. And again, I'm not going to explain this, but you can read through your report and see how that fits. But we do look at what is an authentic leadership style. This one, I will share one of them with you, as I find it very, very interesting. it's all interesting, but the 7-4 is when making contact with others. So this is all about, page 7 is all about what is authentic. When you are being true to yourself, when you're being real, how do you behave? And as it describes on this page, is that what you experience in your life? Is that how you are behaving? So the 7-4 is important because it's like, are you an extrovert or an introvert? Are you someone that approaches others actively, or are you someone that is here to respond to others? Now, I just want to make a distinction here. This is not exactly the same as you would read in psychology, the characteristics of an extrovert and an introvert. Just how we look at it is, are you someone that it's really authentic for you to approach people? You know, so you're in the grocery store or in a networking event, or, you know, wherever you are, you know, on the phone, is it easier for you? Is it more authentic for you to reach out to others? Or are you someone that would do better when somebody comes to you first? So if you're in sales, or you're a sales manager or an HR person, that would be something important to look at for someone in both customer service or anyone that's dealing directly with people or in sales. So it doesn't mean if you're someone that it needs to respond to people, needs to wait, but it is, you could be in sales, but it's more like when there's calls coming in versus you being the one to make the calls going out. And I do want to say that these are all, every page that we look at comes from the human design, but the software does the algorithms, and we look at many different parts of a person's design to bring up these descriptions, not just one thing. So the motivation and cognition, this is interesting for people because this isn't something that's typically on any other type of profiling tool. What is it that motivates people? You know, what is the underlying factor? What comes from the inside? It may not be so obvious, but what is motivating people? And each of these have 6 different ways, at least, to be expressed. So how do you look at the world? There's 6 different ways that people look at the world. What is your activity mode and how do you relate to others? And then how do I take in and process information? Many times people are very, I don't want to say impressed, but you know, it has a real meaning for them to be able to read these descriptions about themselves and feel like they're really being seen and honored for who they are. And on page 9 and 10 in the long report, then we look at what is your potential. So each of these, there is 384 different types of potentiality for people. And just a couple of them here. It's like, what is it that really makes you unique? What is it that really has you stand out? And what is, you know, what is coming up on my development, on my horizon? What is it that is part of my future for me to be looking for in my life, noticing when that is showing up? Or is there something that I can do to cultivate that? So I leave you with a thought for today. A person who feels appreciated will always do more than is expected. And isn't that something we all need to know, whether we work alone, we have vendors and people that we work with, is to really remember to appreciate people for what they're doing. And have them feel recognized. So that's the end of my presentation today. If you're interested in group or private Genius Report coaching, there's my email. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to stop this now. I look forward to reading your comments, answering any questions. The producers of the Genius Report, you can find that on geniusreport.net, but also it is from the64keys.com. So you can look that up too if you're curious about where did this come from. And I thanks so much for your time and attention. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.